Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Amani Talks podcast. You're here with your host, Amani, on the podcast where we discuss our Christian based topics and deepening our relationship with the Lord. And I am fresh from Bali. Well, not exactly fresh. I got in Friday, and I know that I am consecutive episodes behind, y'all. I know. And I was going to get on here and apologize, but then I thought about it and I was like, there's no need to apologize because this is just real life, okay? It's realistic that if you set a time, maybe 6, 7 a.m. every day to read a chapter in the Bible, stuff comes up, life happens. It does not matter if you stick to your schedule as long as you get it done to begin with. So what we're going to do is just double up on some chapters so we can catch up to chapter 29 for tomorrow. And that's just what we're going to do, girl. So, just got back from Bali. The Christian girls trip went amazing. Met 4 amazing women, and I really appreciate that. At first, it was a bigger group coming, like 11, and then it dwindled down to just 5 of us, and I felt like that was absolutely perfect. And yeah, we just had a great time. I got bit by a monkey, chipped a tooth, lost a wig in the ocean. Girl, we had a time last night. It was so amazing, and I think I might keep this going. I think I want to do another girls trip coming very soon. I think I want to do something ski related for December, January. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my emails because I think I'm going to start planning that very soon. We're going to see if we can get that up and running. I think I want to do maybe like 2 trips a year, one for the winter, one for the summer. We can switch it up, spring, fall, whatever. But yeah, it was such a great time. Shout out to Lux Tribes. We were just out there living it up, girl. Like, we were living it up. It was so amazing. Vlogs coming soon, but I have yet to even put out my vlog from my DR missions trip. So that's coming this week. And then after that, you will see my blog, or vlog for Bali. But until then, let's get back on track with our Proverbs a day. We're going to read a chapter. Well, 2 for today, 2 for tomorrow, and 2 for the next day. And what we do is we go ahead and we read the chapter. We highlight verses that really stick out to us and that we're going to start applying to our lives. So today we're going to do Proverbs 24 and 25. Also, I'm very sorry to my audio listeners. I will apologize for that because when I was in Bali recording a couple episodes, I was not able to get the audio out because I was just recording with my iPhone. I didn't have my setup. So sorry to you guys, but of course you can always come on YouTube and watch and listen. So if you did not get the audio, that was not really an oversight. It was just a mistake because I was not able to upload the audio. Okay, let's start with Proverbs 24. Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them, for their heart devises violence and their lips talk of troublemaking. Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yes, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel you will wage your own war, and in a multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too lofty for a fool. He does not open his mouth in the gate. He who plots to do evil will be called a schemer. The devising of foolishness is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to men. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Deliver those who are drawn toward death, and hold back those stumbling to the slaughter. If you say, surely we did not know this, does not he who weighs the hearts consider it? He who keeps your soul, does he not know it? And he will not render to each man according to his deeds? My son, eat honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to your taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be to your soul. If you have found it, there is a prospect, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Do not plunder his resting place, for a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity. Period. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and it displeases him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Y'all, I already had that verse highlighted. We're going to talk about that one today. Woo! Oh, child. Okay, let's move on. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the wicked, for there will be no prospect for the evil man. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Do not associate with those given to change, for their calamity will rise suddenly. And who knows the ruin these two can bring? These things also being to the wise, it is not good to show partiality in judgment. He who says to the wicked, "You are righteous," him the people will curse. Nations will abhor him. But those who rebuke the wicked will have delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. Prepare your outside work, make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward build your house. Do not be a witness against your neighbor without cause, for would you deceive with your lips? Do not say, "I will do to him just as he has done to me. I will render to the man according to his work." Oh, y'all, Proverbs 24 is getting me together. Do not say, "I will do to him just as he has done to me." Don't match somebody's energy. Do not repay evil for evil. Oh, come on. I went by the field of the lazy man and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding. And there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken down. When I saw it, I considered it well. I took it on and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler and your need like an armed man. Dang! Yo, Proverbs has a lot. Well, 24. Proverbs in general, of course. The book of wisdom, okay, right? That's why we're reading through this. The book of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all that good stuff that all Christians need. But 24 really just got me together. Okay, so we got to go back verses 17 and 18, okay? Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and it displeases him, and he turns away his wrath from him. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, I have a personality that is very vengeful. I have a personality that is very much, I'm matching your energy. And that's one thing that I have struggled with the most in my Christian walk. Because when someone is rude to you, especially unprovoked, like for example, if somebody gives you really nasty, bad customer service, and in the Black community, we have all experienced that, okay? Sometimes it just feels like Black people don't know how to give good customer service. Like you at your job, okay? Like ain't nobody asked you to be at this job. You chose this job. Say hello, greet the customer. Are you kidding me? Anyway, I find this the hardest when I get bad customer service. When I walk into an establishment or I walk into your business and you give me an attitude, I'm giving you an attitude right back. And this verse always comes to mind when I do it. Because it's so layered, right? First of all, we already know do not repay evil, for vengeance is from the Lord. I think that verse is in Proverbs. I think we definitely already read that. So I already know as a Christian, I should know better. Do not repay evil for evil. Evil does not drive out evil. Only love can do that. And when I am matching someone's energy, all I'm doing is mirroring their demons. I think I am one-upping them by I'm matching energy. I'm just giving you what you give me. Whole time, I'm just looking like the demon that's inside of you. And as a Christian, why should I ever want to look like the world? Why? Why do we do that to ourselves? We think that we are doing something by giving someone the same energy that they give us. Oh, I'm just reciprocating what you give me. Whole time, you looking just as bad as them. We have to be better than. But it's so hard because I'm the type of person where I just feel like people don't get what they deserve quickly enough. Like, I want to see somebody. Okay, I was about to take it too far. Let me stop. Okay. But I historically, like throughout my life, have been somebody where if I felt like you wronged me, I want to see your house burnt down yesterday. Like, that's the attitude. I know you're going to be like, Amani, but I promise y'all, like, that just has always been my attitude because I've always felt like I'm just a nice and easygoing person. So if you mess with me, it was really unprovoked and you need to get your comeuppance immediately. Okay, I don't want to wait 5 years to see your life fall apart. I want to see it fall apart before my own eyes right now. God, make it happen right now. That's how I've always felt. But verses like this soften me. First of all, because when you are matching someone's energy, their evil energy, you think you're giving them what they deserve. How do you know what they deserve? Who are you to say what someone deserves? Are you God? Did you create that person? Do you make the sun shine on that person? No. We have absolutely no say and how the Lord treats or punishes or gives to his creation. We are all equal people. I have absolutely no say in how the Lord punishes the next person for their sin. So while I think I'm doing a service to the world, oh, let me give you a taste of your own medicine. That way you'll become a better person because you know how it feels. That's not my place to give them a taste of their own medicine. Vengeance is the Lord. I will repay, says the Lord. Okay, but then on top of that, I like this verse specifically. Well, it's two verses, 17 and 18. I like these two verses specifically because it gives an extra layer to that do not repay evil for evil. Because it also says, do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord sees it and it displeases him and he turn away his wrath from him. Now, it seems to me like the cheat code is, do not mirror energy. Do not mirror somebody's demons. Stop trying to repay evil for evil, thinking that that's what they deserve and you're giving them a taste of their own medicine. That's not your place. But also, if you want to see that person get what they deserve from the Lord, it seems to me like the Bible is saying, when you dance on the grave of your enemy, that's their punishment. They're getting what they deserve via you. When you let the Lord handle it, he will handle it. So, if you want to see your enemies get what they deserve, when you see their life falling apart, you look the other way. You don't say nothing to nobody. You don't sit on Instagram watching their baby father cuss him out, talk about something. That's what she get because she stole my man in the 8th grade. The Lord is watching you just as much as he's watching your ops. He's looking to see what you're going to do and how you're going to act when their life starts to fall apart. So your enemy could just be facing natural consequences of their actions. The Lord hasn't even stepped in to deliver their consequence for real yet, but he sees you snickering about them and he says, oh, bet, okay. Let me move on then. You really want to see your enemies get what they deserve from the Lord? You look the other way when they stumble. You pray for them when they stumble. You pray for your enemies. Ooh, that's the hard part. I don't want to pray for internet incels, but the Lord commands me to. And when we pray for our enemies, that makes us more Christ-like. Because just like that person is your enemy, you were an enemy of Jesus. I was an enemy of Jesus. At one point, we were all enemies of Jesus. And while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. He didn't die for us when we got our act together, when we started acting good. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. It makes you more Christ-like when you don't laugh at your enemies. It makes you more Christ-like when you pray for them. It makes you more Christ-like when you ask the Lord to bless your enemies. You're practicing to make yourself more Christ-like while you're on earth. That's why we do everything that we do. Everything on earth is just preparation to give us the mind of Jesus. Everything that we are doing as Christians on earth post the fall of man is to renew our minds. Let the Lord renew our minds to give us more of a Christ-like mind, more of a Christ-like life. And when you bless those who persecute you and you pray for your enemies and you're not snickering at their downfall, that makes you more Christ-like, and that is the goal. And that just goes along with verse 29 where it says, do not say I will do to him just as he has done to me. I will render to the man according to his work. The Lord is saying, don't say that. That just goes right along with verses 17 and 18. It is not your role. It is not your job to say, oh, I'm going to give him what he deserves. Sis, you don't even know what that person deserves. You don't even know them. The Lord knows them. He will give him what they deserve. Okay, continuing on in chapters 25, let's read. These also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from silver, and it will go to the silversmith for jewelry. Take away the wicked from the king, from before the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the presence of the king, and do not stand in the place of the great. For it is better that he say to you, come up here, than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom your eyes have seen. Embarrassing. Do not go hastily to court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor has to put you to shame? Debate your case with your neighbor, and do not disclose the secret to another, lest he who hears it expose your shame and your reputation be ruined. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and settings of silver, like an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise rebuker to an obedient ear. Like the coat of snow in time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him, for he refreshes the soul of his masters. Whoever falsely boasts of giving is like clouds and wind without rain. By long forbearance a ruler is persuaded, and a gentle tongue breaks a bone. Have you found honey? Eat only as much as you need, lest you be filled with it and vomit. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house, lest he become weary of you and hate you. I'm dead. Do not overstay your welcome. Even Proverbs said that. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, and a sharp arrow. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth and a foot out of joint. Like one who takes away a garment in cold weather, and like vinegar on soda, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For so you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue an angry countenance. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. As cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. A righteous man who falters before the wicked is like a murky spring in a polluted well. It is not good to eat much honey, so to seek one's own glory is not glory. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. So I want to talk about verse 26. A righteous man who falters before the wicked is like a murky spring and a polluted well. I want to talk about this because and we talked about this on this podcast before, I am just a huge believer in the Bible, okay? And the Bible has told us over and over and over again that our appearance as Christians, what we do out in the world counts. It counts. It is not good enough that as Christians, we get to do what the world does, but then on the back end say, the Lord knows my heart. And then you feel like that gives you license to look and sound and act like the world. Your appearance as a Christian matters and is one of your greatest tools. Not just because our lifestyle should be different enough to make people wonder what it is about us, right? People should visibly see Christ in our lifestyle, not just by what we say, but people should be able to really see the love of the Lord through the way that we love others and how we treat people and how we walk and just how we present ourselves to them. Now, that's a big point in itself. That's a major key alert. But the Bible also tells us that we should keep our conduct honorable amongst the Gentiles for several reasons. Number one, we know that, I think it's in Thessalonians, Paul talks about we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. Whether or not the world admits it, they are watching Christians and they are watching us closely. They are judging us. Right? They always try to put the judgment label on us, but really it's them judging us. They're waiting to see us fall. They're waiting to see us slip so that they can say, oh, they know better than us. I don't have to turn to the Lord. Look at what Christians are doing. And every time I see a pastor get called out for sexual abuse in the church, every time we see a major Christian artist have reports about them doing drugs and sexually abusing men. Every time stuff like that happens, it just refuels the argument that Christians are no different. It weakens our testimony and it weakens everything that we stand for. And are we imperfect beings? Will we fall to sin? Yes. But the Bible tells us to do our best. Try our best to have our conduct honorable amongst the Gentiles so that they will see our good works and honor and praise our Father in heaven. We lose our dependability. We lose our efficacy to be able to win souls for the Lord when we're doing things sometimes worse than people out in the world. And that's why I'm a stickler for being a role model for anyone who watches my podcast, sees me on Instagram, sees me in real life and in person. I am such a stickler for presenting myself in a certain way and not letting anything or anyone ruin my testimony. People can say, oh, you're all about appearance, you're all about this. And I'm just like, yes, you know what? I am. I am all about appearance, because my appearance as a Christian woman should look very specific. The way I treat people should be very specific. What I do in this world should be very specific. Because as soon as I get lax with those things, as soon as I get lax with my standards and boundaries of what I should be doing and looking like as a Christian woman, that makes it easier for me to slip and fall into sin. And then once I falter, I am no better than a murky spring and a polluted well. Would you drink water from a polluted well? Would you take advice from a Christian woman who's doing the same thing as everybody else? The way we present ourselves is just so important, you guys. Like, sometimes we think that things are not a big deal. Like, oh, sis, you reaching. Oh, sis, it's not that deep. Everything is that deep. Everything is actually that deep. And the only people who don't see their lives as being that deep lack critical thinking. Like, what do you mean your life is not that deep? Everything in my life is that deep. Like, sorry, but everything I do in my life has sincere thoughts and critical thinking behind it. Yeah, that's how we actually should be living our lives. People who always say it's not that deep are just people who their life is controlling them, not the other way around. There are people that let life happen to them. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am not the thermometer. I'm the thermostat. I don't just let my life happen to me. I take control of my life. And I do that for a reason. I do that so that my conduct can be honorable to the world. I do that so that I can be a good example. I do that so that I don't fall in front of the wicked. Isn't it embarrassing when a Christian person gets corrected by the world? Remember when at the BET Awards, Kevin Hart was on stage. I think he was hosting or presenting, and he was talking to Kirk Franklin, and he was like, Kirk Franklin, you don't need to be D-popping when you singing songs, like you don't got to be twerking or whatever he said. And he was like, God didn't ask you to do all that. Is it not embarrassing when you fall in front of wicked people and wicked people are the ones to correct you? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I know Kirk Franklin was embarrassed because, yeah, he shouldn't be on there hip popping and stuff when he's singing gospel or what he counts as gospel. I don't listen to Kirk Franklin. I didn't grow up on Kirk Franklin. I never really listened to him. So I don't know his music and what he be doing as well as other people do. But I definitely see what Kevin Hart was talking about. I at least be seeing that. Like he does a little bit much. You know, it's okay to be flamboyant, but you up there, you know, what they call that, the tripping out on stage. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, did God tell you to do that? I mean, even David danced before the Lord, but that was just an example of how you fall before the wicked and the wicked corrects you. And it's just like you've lost your testimony as a Christian. That's like when Peter Gunz was on that show Cheaters. And he was the host of Cheaters, and he was busting a cheater. And then the man that got busted cheating was like, Peter Gunz, you a cheater too. Like, it's hard for you to be an example when you look like everybody else. So this is just really encouragement for us as Christians to really make calculated moves in our lives, to really think about things before you do it and say to yourself, do I look like a Christian right now? And, you know, there are going to be times that, you know, we're humans. We're not always going to stand out every second of every day, but stand out where it matters. Stand out where it counts. So you can be used by God and have an effect on the world in order to win souls for the kingdom. Okay, we're going to stop there for Proverbs 24 and 25. I will be doing 26 and 27 tomorrow, and then 28 and 29, and then we'll be caught up by then. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.